Why do you think so many people are lost, and why are they missing the direction that they need to?
Well, I think I know why. Because I've watched crowds of thousands of people hundreds of times respond to certain things I've said investigating that problem. Since 1960, we've insisted that the purpose of your life is a kind of hedonistic happiness, that you have rights, which includes the rights to that hedonistic happiness. The capitalist marketers certainly capitalize on that, just as much as the, governmental tyrants. Rights, rights, rights. What I want right now. That idea of infantile consumption, fundamentally. Well, you have rights for a particular reason, and the reason you have rights is so that you can shoulder your responsibilities. And you might say, well, I don't want to shoulder my responsibilities, but that's where all the meaning in your life is. And so when I tell people this, the audiences always go dead silent. It's like, the adventure in your life will be found in responsibility. No one ever hears that. We haven't told young people that for like 60 years. You pick up the cross and shoulder it uphill because that's where all the meaning in your life will be derived from. It's in the difficulty. It's in the responsibility. It's not in the hedonistic self-gratification that, as I said, won't even satisfy a 2-year-old, not in the final analysis. All you do is, if people just get what they want all the time, immediately, it's not like that ennobles their character. Like, obviously not. Your character is made noble by sacrifice, by the delay of gratification. That's all associated with maturity. And the community itself is a sacrificial. The community itself requires sacrifice on the part of the individual. Obviously, like, to be in a community is to sacrifice your individuality to the community. It's the definition of community. You don't get everything you want the second you want it in your marriage. You have to take the other people into account. Well, that's a sacrifice of immediate gratification. Now, you might say, well, it's a good long-term deal. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. It's a good long-term deal. So you sacrifice the idiot present for a good long-term deal, a good communal long-term deal. And if you do that properly, then you have a stellar reputation, right? Because you're someone who can be counted on, relied upon. And then that also is something that provides your life with meaning. We're lost because we have no direction. We don't even believe that there is such a thing as direction. And then you might say, well, what's the proper direction? The direction of maximal voluntary self-sacrifice. That's the proper direction. Every military person knows that. It's the core of the military enterprise. And there's obviously adventure in that. There can be catastrophe in it as well.